doing too much can be the best thing that can ever happen to you. We're going to talk about why. I really want you to think about this. If they rounded up every person you ever met in your whole life and they put them in a room and they asked them, would you describe her as doing the most or doing the least? And I want you to think, why? Like, why is that what you do? Let's break down, what does that mean you're doing the least? Doing the least means that you are like the most understanding, the most flexible, go with the flow person on earth. When you go out, you do not dress. You're not ever the person that is ever, you know how they talk about like women outdressing the other person? Like, you're never the person that's outdressing anybody. You're never doing that. You're not the high maintenance person. You're the very low maintenance person. Like the person that's the cool girl that's like always down for whatever. Like, if that's what you are, why are you like that? Because I don't have a problem with a person being low maintenance when it comes to one or two things. But if you are low maintenance about everything, you're more concerned about other people than you are about yourself. And why is that? Why is it that you are always thinking about how other people feel, but you're not ever thinking about how you feel? Like, do you think that that's okay? Because it's not. You should be inconveniencing people in some way, shape, or form. There should be some point where you're like, oh no, this is not something that I want. This is not something that I like. Like, you have to do the most in some facet of your life. If it's not fashion, if it's not speaking up for yourself, like, you have to be the, for lack of a better word, you have to be the bitch in some situations. It calls for that. And if you are never, ever, 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 ever that person, why is it? I need you to think about that. Now, I can speak about this because I've been in this situation before. There was a point in time where I wanted to be invisible, y'all. I never wanted to make myself be the center of attention. And I'm sure that has to do with something, I don't know, something probably that happened to me when I was a kid. And then I decided that's really not how I want to live my life. Like, I really had to stop and think, like, do I really want to be this girl? Because regardless of if I wanted to be invisible or not, I still look the way that I look. And I still get attention. So being invisible was never an option for me. It never was. And I had to decide, like, why am I sitting up there always shrinking myself? Why is it that I always feel like I have to make myself smaller? When you get a compliment, like, how do you respond to the compliment? Because that's something I had to work on for myself. Like, I literally remember being like, okay, when somebody gives you a compliment, you have to work so hard to not either knock yourself down a peg after they give you a compliment, or the other option is saying, oh, I owe this old thing, or oh my God, you look good too. There's nothing wrong with giving somebody else a compliment, right? That's a great, amazing thing. And I love to do that. But if somebody gives you a compliment and you constantly feel like you need to take that energy and put it back on them, it's because you don't want to be the center of attention. You want to do the least. We're not doing that anymore. So I can say, actually, now that I've thought about it, that I did used to want to do the least. I did want to be that invisible girl. I did want to shrink myself down so that I was not the center of attention. Because for whatever reason, I didn't want to call attention upon myself. And that did not feel good. Somebody giving me a compliment and I'm like, I mean, but my hair not done. Like, why would that feel good to me? That I'm sitting up there making myself, what is it, self-depreciation? Like self-deprecating, whatever the word is that you use. I'm doing that when somebody's trying to give me a compliment and make me feel good about myself. That doesn't feel good. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So the thing about it is, like, doing the most is portrayed so negatively. Like, if you ever look at like a high maintenance girl, she's always like in TV shows and movies, she's usually like low-key evil. Like, she usually is low-key evil, and she's usually just very like standoffish, and they usually have a man. Clock that T. So that was doing the most. I'm sorry, y'all. But they do. They usually have a man, and they're usually not single, but they are usually like, their standards are all the way up here. But they often portray them as like this evil woman when she just has some respect for herself. When she just knows, okay, I don't really want to do this. This is not what is in the cards for me. Like, all she doing is speaking up for herself. And they're like, nah, that's negative. That's negative. That's how they portray it. And don't let you be a black woman. Don't let you be a black woman and speak up for yourself. That 100% you're doing the most. But that's your job. And the fact of the matter is, don't they say that we are the least protected person in America is the black woman? If we don't speak up for ourselves, then nobody else will. So doing the most in that situation is what you should do, because no one else is going to speak up for you. Nobody else is going to step in and say, hey, this is not acceptable for you to do this to this girl. This is not acceptable for this woman to be treated this way. So at the end of the day, you are the person that has to stop and say, this is what I expect. This is the way I should be treated. Doing the most is the best thing to do. It's self-respect, it's self-preservation, and it's self-love. Like, especially if you want to do the most, like, if you're outspoken, if you are in, let's be clear, it doesn't matter if you say it softly or if you say it I said what I said. They're still going to say the same thing. Just because they portray you to be a negative evil person because you want to do the most, because you want to speak up for yourself, because you want to come into the room looking a certain type of way. We don't care what anybody else has to say. It's only about what we think. And we have to remember that. You are not supposed to be invisible. You are not supposed to be in the background. I don't care what anybody else has ever told you. You do the most because that's what you were put here to do. It's on you to make sure that the energy shifts when you enter a room. Like, do you want to be that person that you enter a room and nobody even notices? Because that sounds like my worst nightmare. Why would you not want to be that person that energy shifts when you come into the room? You are literally the star of the show. And if you are beautiful, or if you are personality driven, or whatever it may be, that's your job. Like, you are robbing other people of having that experience by shrinking yourself down, by making yourself somebody else's sidekick. That's not what you're supposed to do, because you are the main character in your story. You're not the main character in anybody else's story. So that means you got to act like you're the main character, because nobody else is going to treat you like that. Especially if you don't treat yourself like that. If you act like you are not important, why would anybody else treat you like that? They're not going to. If you love yourself, make sure that you look the best that you want to look, that you say the things that you need to say, that you speak up for yourself in situations that are not fitting for you, that you say, hey, this is not what I asked for, this is not what I like, this is not what I expect. Make sure that you say something. Even though they're going to say she's always doing the most, she always got something to say, it's always this and that. There is a certain way to get all of those points across without it being like you're always nagging or you're always complaining. I would rather that you stand up for yourself and it comes off the wrong way than for you to not even say anything in the first place. That's the worst thing that you can do, because like I said, if you don't stand up for yourself, no one else is going to stand up for you. We're going to redefine what it means to do the most, because like I said, a lot of times in media, doing the most is seen as negative. Women that want to make sure that they look put together, women that wake up and put makeup on every single day, like literally, let me give y'all a little example, because if you know me, if you know me, you know I'm going to come and I'm going to look the way that I look. And that literally, that theme carries itself throughout my life. I do not show up because I never know what type of situation I'm going to be in. Okay? Like, you might catch me before I drop my kids off at the bus. You might catch me down. I'm not gonna lie to you. But when I tell y'all, I was at work one day and there was this girl sitting there talking to, we are at the nurse's station, right? And I'm kind of like, I'm not sitting down with them, but I'm standing right there. And one of the girls says, I don't really feel the need to get all dressed up and cute for work because I don't need to look pretty for my patients. And I took that as a direct shot, because are you talking about me? Are you trying to? And I said, you know what? That's okay. I'll do it for everybody. I said, you know what? That's okay. I'll do it for everybody else. You ain't even got to worry. Like, girl, what are you trying to? And you know what? I realized that she didn't hear what I said, but other people heard what I said. And I was like, you know what? That's a you problem, that you feel the way that you feel. That don't have nothing to do with me. So if you feel ugly sitting next to me, that's a you problem. That don't have nothing to do with me. I'm going to look good no matter where I go. It literally, like during COVID, when we was masked up, I still was looking good. I was trying to figure out, like, I was on the hunt for the best setting spray because my makeup kept transferring to my mask. I like to look good. I feel good when I look good. Okay, sorry y'all, my camera overheated. But back to what we were talking about. Basically what I was saying was that even the people that I work with, they know that I do the most, and that just means that I look good when I come to work, and I take pride in that, and I don't really care what anybody else has to say about it. And if you feel insecure about how I look, that's because you're insecure, not because I look the way that I look. So that's a personal thing. That is not just about the aesthetics. It's not just about the makeup. It's about self-care and self-love. It's about the days that you don't feel good, which goes back to what I was telling y'all before, which is that when I really didn't feel good, when I was not putting care into the way that I looked and the things that I ate and the way that my body was shaped, I didn't feel good. So like, I wasn't presenting in the world the best way that I could because I didn't feel good about myself. So once I realized, hey, you're not taking very good care of yourself, that is a problem. That's why you're so miserable. I had to change that. The way that you is important, but it's also, like I said, sometimes doing the most can just mean that you are speaking up too much, that you are speaking up too loudly, that you are speaking up too frequently. You show up in your most authentic way. If you're a person that likes to wear hot pink from head to toe, other people might look at that like she's doing too much. She's over the top. Like, think about Tyler, the Creator. That's a really good example. If you like watch anything with him ever, some people might say he's doing the most. I think he's just being himself. You are supposed to be like that, like in any way, shape, or form, whether that be physically, whether that be the way that you speak highly of yourself, any way at all. It's really about the way that you care for yourself. And it's important that you are the person that is the most authentic, the person that speaks up for yourself the most, the person that is like, hey, I really want to wear this. Even if other people feel small next to you, that's not your problem. It is not your problem. The sun doesn't care who it blinds, it just sits in the sky and it just shines on you. It doesn't matter how other people feel. If they feel inferior to your light, that does not mean that you have an excuse to be smaller. I want to be so clear here. Doing the most is not always how you present yourself when other people are around. Doing the most is also the things that you do for yourself when there's not another soul watching, because you know what makes you feel good. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I don't know how many other ways to say that. I think that I've gotten my point across. I think that y'all understand where I'm coming from, but I just want y'all to know this, because there were so many times where I felt like I have to be smaller because it's going to make other people feel insecure if I'm big, if I'm myself, if I'm my, you know what I'm saying? Because some people are hilarious, but then they get around their friends and their friends like, you're not funny. And it's like, actually, I am hilarious. Like, be yourself. And if your friends, family, whomever, if they can't get with the program, that's their problem, not yours. Every week I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of homework, okay? I'm going to give you homework and things that you need to do to work on yourself, because this is the glow up, but in real life. This is a real life glow up. Your homework for this week, actually I'm really excited about this, and I think I might implement this for myself too. Your homework for the week is to pick one area of your life. It has to be the way that you look, because other people have to see it too, because that's a big part in this. Pick one thing, and I want you to do the most all week, okay? And if that's your outfits, every day you go to work, you are coming on 10. Every day you go to work, you on 10. Every day you go to work, your hair is laid and slayed. And I don't want y'all judging my hair, because I'm getting my hair done in 2 days, okay? Okay? We're not here for judgment. I want you to do the most. And you're not doing it for anybody else but you. It has to be something that literally is just for you. I don't want you sitting up there like, mommy, I like it when I wear my hair and it be da-da-da-da. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that you like specifically. Cannot be anything that's for anybody else. And what we're going to do is we're going to check back in next week. And I want y'all to tell me how it made y'all feel to do the most. And I want y'all to be clear. A week is 7 days. Don't try to play in my face. Don't try to play in my face. When you go to your auntie's house, your hair better be the same way that it was last week. Like, I want every day you do this thing, okay? And we're going to talk next week and see how it made y'all feel. And I'm going to focus on something too. I really do the most every day, I'm going to be honest with y'all. So this might be kind of hard for me. But yeah, we're going to see. I'm going to catch y'all next week. Love you. And you know what? I can't wait to see y'all again next week. I'm actually so excited about this. I have been thinking about making these YouTube videos forever. And y'all, I was going to do the video in my house, but my freaking house is too echoey. So it was so much echo. I was trying to set up shop in my room, but that I didn't like the vibes. So I was having a really hard time, and I kind of really didn't want to do it in my car, as much as I love my baby. I love her. I just didn't really want to do it in my car either. But I was like, you know what? There's never the perfect time to do anything. So if I can give y'all one piece of advice that really doesn't have anything to do with what we were talking about, but I'm gonna give it to y'all anyway, start before you're ready. That's something that I have been taking in recently, and it really has started me. It's caused me to start today. It's caused me to start here. It's caused me to start with this video. I hope y'all like it. If y'all don't, come back next week. Maybe you'll like that one. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.